Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
And today we are back with the second installment of Feast of Saints, whose feast days are always overshadowed, and in all likelihood, you've never heard of them before.
Our theme this month for the Saints of March is not just saints you haven't heard of, which is our theme always for the Saints of the month, but the saints who you will probably never hear of outside of this.
Unless, as we learned in our previous episode, and if you haven't watched it, stop this, go back, watch that one, then come back.
I mean, the previous episode in this series. It's in possible we've got,
the previous episode in March's Saints Day.
Part one of the Saints of March, yeah.
In which case they were mentioned in the Bible.
Mm-hmm. And again, we're not making fun of them for not being known, but just, it's sad, really. So, onward we go. Nate, start us off.
So this is March 25th, which
also
is also known as
the
Feast of the Annunciation.
It's a little bit of a big deal.
It's just
I mean, there are like little, notes in the priest books that, there are times where you only kneel on today and Christmas.
It's just a little bit of a high note. It's not like these guys are being massively overshadowed by anything.
It's only the Feast of the Incarnation. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Saint Alfwold died 1058, was a bishop, a monk, and an ascetic.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Someone you will have heard of, Saint Dismas, AKA the Good Thief, who died on Good Friday.
And then we have Saint Dula, also known as Theodula. They were a slave of a pagan soldier who was martyred at Nicomedia in Asia Minor.
Next, we have someone who has all the names that we're not paying attention to because there's a much bigger holiday.
All the names. Saint Hermenland, a.k.a. Erblon, a.k.a. Herbland, a.k.a. hermel, died in... We don't know... We're not sure of the name, but we know when died. Died in 720, a monk, founder, miracle worker, and evangelizer of Normandy, France.
After that, we have Saint Humbert of Morailles. Died 680, was a Benedictine abbot, and helped found Morailles Abbey in Flanders, Belgium.
Next, we have one that I think Jess can handle.
Okay.
I don't know.
I maybe I'm gonna try it.
Be brave.
All right. They're a blessed. James Bird.
Hey!
They died in 1593 as they were one of the English martyrs, as you could tell by the fact that it's a name that I could pronounce. And they were hanged, drawn, and quartered.
Yes.
And after this, we have one that has the most interesting combinations of names I've seen recently.
Actually, I don't know. I could almost see how all these names work.
Kind of.
Saint Kennocha, also known as Kyle, also known as Enoch. Because if you put A after Enoch and a K before it, it's basically
Kyle, Enoch, Kennocha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They died 1007, and they were a Scottish nun. That's about it.
A nun named Kyle. A nun named Enoch. Here we go!
I mean, Enoch makes sense. They're a biblical figure.
Totally.
There's lots of, nuns that have names that are guys' names that are
All
in the Bible.
Time. All the time.
But just Kyle.
Yeah. It's like Mary, dude. Mary, dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every sister in the order. Mary, dude.
Yes, because guys have dude, Mary.
Yeah. Dude, Mary. Next.
I don't want to be brother dude Mary.
I'm sure if we look hard enough, we'll find a saint whose nickname was Dude. It's got to exist. We've had Chads and Kyle.
But is he a monk as well?
Elvis.
I do love that there's a Saint Chad. Next, we have Saint Lucy Filippini, a.k.a. Lucia, born in 1672, died in 1732, helped to found the Institute of the Mostre Pie, a.k.a. the Filippini Sisters, which educate girls.
60 years.
Well, given the time, not a bad life.
No. No, I was actually commenting that it's 60 whole years.
60 whole years. And for the majority of them, they spent being a school teacher. So, that's like 120 years in real time.
Yeah.
Super stressful.
Next, we have Saint Pelagius of Laodicea. Died 381, a bishop. They fought Arianism and were exiled by Emperor Valens.
Boo!
Later, they
attended
the Council of Constantinople.
Cool. This does highlight a problem we have in Christianity. Often, saints share names with scoundrels. Yeah, we think of Pelagianism as a bad thing because it is. But here we have a Saint Pelagius.
Yes.
Who fought a different heresy.
There is the famous church historian, Saint Eusebius. There's also the vicious Arian bishop, not Saint Eusebius of Nicomedia.
Well, but we see this in our own time, too, because there were plenty of ordinary folks who, despite being sinners and essentially people of a broken nature, were reasonably good people named Adolf. And then this one guy came along who ruined it for everybody.
Very common name in the early 20th century.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a friend whose name is Karen, who online will occasionally point out that they did a positive Karen interaction with someone when they, went above and beyond to be nice to somebody.
I felt bad for all the Karens I know in 2020. That was a rough year.
Yeah.
No, but there's obviously the monster Joseph Stalin, but we all know guys named Joe.
Perfectly decent, at least from a reasonable standpoint, individuals.
But we know almost no one named Superman, except for, Nicolas Cage's son, who uses a different variation of it.
Well, because that's even Superman's name isn't Superman.
No, and technically Stalin is Man of Steel, which is what Superman is called, but it doesn't mean.
Next. Nate?
Next, we have Saint Quirinus of Tegernsee, also known as Cyrinus, and they died 269. They were a Roman martyr, and their relics were translated to the Abbey of Tegernsee in Bavaria.
That'd be Lake Tegern.
Yes.
Tegernsee.
Tegernsee.
I do like the fact that they're named of a place that they moved after they were dead for a length of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Now, I have a pause here because if you go through most things of, they just list all the saints, they will have 2 or 3, most likely never exist people that are listed as boy martyrs. Because of the...
That's a great title.
It would be, except for... It's based on the idea that, March 25th is the holiday it is because great people were thought to have, been born
9 months after their conception.
Or conceived on the same day they died.
Yes.
So therefore, as we know, we don't put Christmas and Easter on the same date. That we put this as the same date, which is how we have the Good Thief as his feast day. So because medieval people knew that this was essentially Passover time, there were a lot of urban legend / straight up slandering of Jewish people where they're like, they use the Christians' blood for their matzah, which makes, of course, no sense because they have a rule against blood.
Never happened.
And come on, matzah would...
if you knew anything about matzah, it'd be like, that's just really gross now.
It's really gross.
It's already really gross.
Well, and it's especially disgusting because the pagans slandered Christians by saying that we kill children for use in our religious rituals.
I mean,
and then we repeat the same slander against our elder brothers in faith.
It's one of those things where there's certain things that they always do for a group where it's you can tell this is the fake because this is all the rules. If you're half the things that the Templars were said to do, it's yep, they said they did this. They said they did this. They said they had the head of John the Baptist. Wait, that one's new. Maybe that one has some truth to it. So, we are not mentioning any of these supposed largely English boy martyrs, but we do have on the same day someone who properly showed how to be respectful and loving to the Jewish people of his day. So, I wanted to put it in there because I'm like, oh, a name I can pronounce. Oh, wait, nope. It's a legend that's just insulting the Jewish people with completely made-up stories.
Not cool, guys. Not
cool.
So we have Blessed Emilian Kovch. I'm not good at pronouncing, Eastern European languages.
But they were born 1884 and died 1944. Another 60-year one.
Well, his was, the date should, give it away.
No, I understand. No, the date and the last name really kind of... It was a priest, worked with Ukrainian immigrants in Yugoslavia, or immigrants to Yugoslavia.
Which, at that time, was a country that the Russians cobbled together between 3 separate groups of people, which is why it's 3 countries now.
6.
No.
6? Oh, okay.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I knew that when they split to 3.
I could list them if you like.
No, I'm good.
They also were known for
I'm thinking of a different...
Arguably 7, but...
I'm thinking of a different... Of a different cobbling, a set of cobblings.
Yep.
They were a chaplain to Ukrainian soldiers fighting in the Bolsheviks in 1919. Later, they became a parish priest in...
Place we can't pronounce, Ukraine.
Paramishliani, Ukraine, where he was known for his care of the poor and orphaned, as well as organizing pilgrimages.
Hey!
As his town was mostly Jewish when the Nazis invaded, he began baptizing people and listing them as Christians. He was arrested for this and died in Majdanek in the ovens.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
And although, there is the people who were like, well, he was baptizing them. Unless they were small children, they agreed to this.
Yeah. You can't forcibly baptize an adult. You can't forcibly baptize anyone of the age of reason. So they're all like, no, this is fine.
Yes.
Do you know?
A number of people just faked it and said they were baptizing, but according to the records, he actually, did it so he could be like 100% truthful. Yeah, nope, they're Christians.
Mm-hmm. Totally Christian.
We don't have any here.
I got a lot of Christians.
Changed.
Got a lot of Christians.
A year ago, I would have told you the place was lousy with them, but...
The gospel has been very successful here. Do you know, is Blessed Emilian one of the righteous among the nations?
I did not look that up.
Totally reasonable. But this is how Christians are supposed to act toward everyone. When evil comes around, we stand against it. Not with the weapons of the world, but with the weapons of the Spirit.
Although, after the homily this Sunday, the 5-year-old boy behind me really wanted to use the weapons of this world. Like, he caught, half of the sermon, but not the rest.
Well, 5.
Yeah. He was enthused for God.
He's full of zeal. Of course, so was Paul when he was killing people. So
that's right. I went to a different mass than you at a different church because I'm like, where did guns come into play here?
There was discussed on the military banners in David and Solomon, and because this was filmed way in February.
Okay, yeah. My homily was a lot different.
I had a golden oldie. It's like I was in a time machine. So, those are the saints of March whose feasts are almost never observed because they fall on very
fall on
prominent days
that will, in almost all likelihoods, supersede them.
But the beauty of it is, once you're a saint, you don't really care about that.
Yeah, no, that's not important.
They're fine. They have the beatific vision. They're great.
I mean, maybe they're enjoying their time, just like occasionally, politely, ribbing like Saint Anthony and stuff. Where it's like, yeah, you get 50 million asked every single day. No one knows about me.
That's the tragedy of Saint Anthony. He's a doctor of the church, and we only go to him when we lose our keys. Although, I do have to imagine that in a very holy way, the other saints rib St. Patrick over how many people are profaning his day. And the
way to go there, Patrick.
And the super funny Lutheran satire video.
Oh, Patrick.
All the saints in heaven. Oh, Patrick.
I just imagine
that
they
they don't, I will.
They constantly give them those jars and open up and they're fake snakes. Like, didn't get rid of those snakes, did you?
No, because of St. Patrick, they never spread out. Oh, look, no snakes again! Boom!
He's just munching on the peanuts and says it. It's like, this is interesting.
That would be hilarious. They have a can that looks like a can of peanuts, but it's supposed to have spring snakes in it. And he opens it up and says, "Oh, peanuts! I love these.
These are great." Ba 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 ba. Wonder Worker.
You didn't hear? I drove all the snakes out of the can.
That wasn't literal. Ireland had no snakes to begin with.
Boom! Look how effective I am. No snakes.
Don't worry, everybody. I've driven away all the snakes. We didn't have snakes. I know. I'm just that good.
Yeah, because I knew I was coming. Comment below with another obscure saint observed, whose feast day falls during March, which again is always Lent. Give this episode a like, subscribe to our channel, ring the church bell to be notified the next time a plot is uploaded.
And until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.